Nini everyone, Zabora here. So here we have the messianic list, I guess you would call it. I apologize if you can hear my fan in the background. It is quite hot here. So I am talking a little louder to compensate for that. So that's why I'm yelling at the goddamn mic. um, so I'm going to go ahead and go through the list of the messianic requirements according to Jewish laws. The best place that I would suggest looking these up for yourself will be Ezekiel 37, verse 24 through 28. Although there are many more places that these requirements are mentioned, that seems to be the most concise list, but I will go over more. Now, number 1, the Messiah must be from the tribe of Judah and a direct descendant of King David and King Solomon. Now, this is, of course, according to Genesis 49, verse 10, 2 Samuel 7, verse 12 through 14, 1 Chronicles 22, 9 through 10. The only problem with this, and I already went over that, is that Jesus is actually a descendant from, yes, according to the Bible, King David, and yes, King Solomon being the son of David. But he's also the descendant of a branch that was cast out, and his descendants are never allowed to claim the throne of David. And I will link the video down below explaining that about Jesus' genealogy. The next one, number 2, there's supposed to be an intergathering of the Jewish exiles. Now, I'm pretty sure there's Jewish people living outside of Israel, so that's debunked. But you can find this in Deuteronomy 30, verse 3, Isaiah 11, 11 through 12, Jeremiah 30, verse 3, Jeremiah 32, verse 37, Ezekiel 11, verse 17, and Ezekiel 36, verse 24. Number 3, there's supposed to be a rebuilding of the Holy Temple. Now, this is, of course, happened without Jesus in the 21st century, but you can find the requirements for this in Isaiah chapter 2, verse 2 through 3, Isaiah 56, verse 6 through 7, chapter 60, verse 7, chapter 66, verse 20, Ezekiel 37, 26 through 27, Malachi, chapter 3, verse 4, or maybe it's, yeah, I think that's what it is, and then Zechariah 14, 20 through 21. Sorry, I can't really read my own writing here. So then we have the next one, number 4, which is going to be a worldwide reign of peace. Obviously, that hasn't happened yet, but you can find the evidence for this supposedly as a Messiah being in Micah 4, verse 1 through 4, Horsea, Hosea, chapter 2, verse 20, Isaiah chapter 2, verse 1 through 4, as well as Isaiah 60, verse 18. Number 5, there's supposed to be an embracing of the Torah observance by all Jews. See, here's the problem. I know lots of Jewish people that eat bacon and don't eat slaves and don't try to buy their wives from their fathers for 50 shekels. So that never happened either. But you can find the requirement for that in Ezekiel 37, verse 24, Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 8 and 10, Jeremiah 31, verse 32, Ezekiel 11, 19 through 20, Ezekiel 36, 26 through 27. Number 6, there's supposed to be a universal knowledge of God. Yeah, so I reject that there's any knowledge of any God anywhere, because knowledge implies evidence. Instead, what you find is faith, which is believed because there's a lack of evidence, even according to the own Bible. So you're supposed to find that in Zechariah chapter 3, verse 9, Zechariah chapter 8, verse 23, chapter 14, verse 9, chapter 16, Isaiah 45, 23, 66, 23, Jeremiah 31, 33, Ezekiel 38, 23, and Psalm 86, 9, and yeah. Again, a classical portrait of the Messiah can be found in Ezekiel 37, verse 24 through 28. See, the Messiah is supposed to be a military leader, and Jesus was not. So, there is a reason the Jews reject Jesus. And it's because they actually read the requirements for the Messiah for their religion, because Jesus was supposedly a Jew preaching Judaism, which nobody seems to understand. So that is it for tonight, guys. Sanapti.